Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Excited to have you all here. Welcome to another episode of Morning Momentum. As I'm looking down, I'm just getting some music going. So hopefully you guys are doing great today. I'm excited to share with you REI Rundown day number 2. We're going to have to do it here in the office, here in the studio, until I can figure out a better way to stream from my phone. Because the idea is I wanted to do this while I'm out and about. But ultimately, I don't want to sacrifice the quality of these episodes just to be out streaming, while I'm walking or doing whatever. So hopefully you guys are doing great. And you tuned in yesterday for the first day of this series. It's going to be 30 days. Just like the VA action plan, this is just going to be a virtual real estate investing rundown. We say REI because it's not all about just wholesaling. If you guys know me, you know Pace, you know Cody. This is our primary business. We do have other businesses built around the real estate industry. But REI wholesaling, fix and flip, that is the base. That is the foundation where we're able to do a lot of cool things, right? I think sometimes a lot of folks get wrapped up into, how they make their money. Like, oh, well, let me go start an Amazon store. Let me go do this. Like, let me go do that. Like, look, there's a million ways to make money. Ultimately, all of our business decisions and everything that we do is based around, hey, what's our one thing? It's real estate. Okay, now how can we you heard Pace say replace expenses with income. How do we build more businesses around our real estate company, right? Creating an empire in real estate, not just acquiring properties, but doing fix and flip, doing buy and holds, creative finance, subject to hell, owning title companies, everything in between. If it involves real estate, we want to be in it, man, because that's where we do generate most of our revenue. Right. So how do we replace the money that we have to pay other people services to get our deals done? How do we replace that with income? So over the next 30 days, we are going to be talking about all things REI, how you can get started, and I guess some best practices before you actually start spending money. Yesterday, I told you guys how important it is to have to understand some exit strategies. I said, maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 exit strategies would be a great place to start. Right? You don't need to know all of them. Pace actually has an ebook that I talked to him last night. He's like, oh, I'm almost done with it. So, of course, reach out to me and we'll make sure that you get you that ebook. But you don't have to know all of them. But it's important that you do know at least a handful before you start spending money, before you start doing all these things, and you're spending money faster than you can make it. It's important to understand how you can monetize your leads. So that was yesterday, right? How you can make money on leads that a lot of people will throw away, right? You hear Pace and all these sub 2 students, send me your dead deal, send me your dead leads, like all this stuff. It's because they're going to probably do either a subject to on the dead leads. Most people throw away retail leads. So if it's retail and they don't have any equity, subject to. If it's retail and they own it free and clear, seller finance, right? So being able to monetize leads, not just based on the asking price, because we talked about yesterday, how many people want to sell from the big list that you call, smaller amount? How many people do want to sell for cash at a steep discount? Very few, right? And we build our businesses on those very few, but it's important to tap back into the bigger audience. And that's what we were talking about. So that is where we are getting started. Today is day number 2 of the REI rundown. If you guys are tuning in, I always want to hear and see where you're at. I see we have some folks there on Facebook. We have some folks on YouTube. And we also have some people on Instagram. So what's up, guys? Comment on the video. Love to see where you guys are at, how I can provide value to you over the next 30 days. I'm down to get some ideas. I had the whole 30-day plan written out. But if you guys are like, Matt, I really want you to spend more time on this, or I want you to talk about that, please put it in the comment section. I'm here to help any way that I can. It's the purpose of doing these lives. It's not just for me to just say, hey, I went live today. Hopefully, by doing these videos, you guys are going to get some value. Okay, so ultimately, one of the best ways to do that is to get your perspective too. Okay, is that fair? Does everyone want to give me their perspective over the next 30 days? If you want me to spend more time on subject 2, you want me to spend more time on certain aspects and extra strategies, we can do that. Or if you want me to spend more time on marketing, we can do that. Okay, so I love to hear you guys' feedback, perspective. Let's get rocking and rolling. So for day number 2, guys, want to talk about spending. Before you start spending your money, like what's the best method? Like a lot of folks go all in on their marketing and never get a deal. And they do this whole red light, green light. Green light is, hey, I'm spending all my money. Oh, I got some leads. They didn't turn into anything. Or, hey, okay, now save some money up again. I'm going to spend some money and didn't turn into anything, right? I had a deal in escrow, but it fell out. Okay. So number one, I think it's important to know yourself, know where you're at financially. I don't know you. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what your business looks like. I don't know what your bank account looks like. But before you start taking action on some things, like it really affects one way or the other. It's going to affect how you go about doing this business. We talk about leverage, but ultimately getting started in real estate, you got to ask yourself, do I have time or do I have some money to spend? Right? And don't get it twisted either. If you have money to spend, you're still going to need a substantial amount of time to work your leads. Okay. That simple question is just made for prospecting. Okay. Because prospecting is the art of getting leads in your business. And leads is the lifeblood. Now, the greatest thing about prospecting is it can be outsourced. Now, after that, after leads start coming in, it's on you, man. It's on you to get these deals done. Okay. So of course you can JV. It's one of the best ways to go about doing it, squatting up, and maybe you get some reps like that. I know quite a few folks that, they don't have the sales skills and they feel like they need to have the sales skills. We can talk to you guys about, actually, I think we are. I think on the third week, we're going to talk about how we found our acquisition department head and the job ad we put out and how we train those folks. I know you guys can get a ton of value from that. But ultimately, know that this business is definitely an and business. Do as much as you can and do this and do that. But there's only so much you can do. So prospecting is the first thing that you're going to want to outsource. Doesn't matter if you're good at sales or not. You shouldn't be spending all your time on a cold call, like all your time on a dollar trying to cold call. You shouldn't spend all your time, going out and door knocking. If you have money, that's what you outsource. Okay. If you don't have money and you have a ton of time, then of course you're going to have to do the non-sexy things. You're going to have to go out and knock on doors. That's what I did. Now, maybe you're like, dude, knocking on doors is a little too extreme. That's still cool. You can go out and do what's called driving for dollars. You can use the Batch Driven app. And if you guys don't know what the Batch Driven app is, you can just go to batchdriven.com/launch. They have plenty of videos there detailing the actual software, but it's really cool. Just from your phone, I can go drive around my neighborhood and look for the ugliest properties, the ones that are really the big eyesores, not just needs a little paint, but the ones that clearly look like something's going on, right? They don't have, the homeowner for whatever reason doesn't have enough money to fix that property. You can go do that for free, man. Other than the cost of your time and gas, that didn't cost you anything. You can even get a free week trial of Batch Driven to see if you even want to do it. But you understand that there's always a value exchange of resources, right? If you don't have money as a resource, you have time as a resource. If you don't have time as a resource, you need to have money as a resource. Okay. And some of you guys are like, dude, I don't have any money and I don't have any time. Well, you need to either make time before you go to work. Hopefully, if that's the case, typically that's folks that have 9 to 5. It's either you make time to go drive for dollars before work or after work. You go knock on doors or you cold call. Because, the magic of building this list, the same people that you would go knock on their door, if you're like, Matt, that's a little extreme. I don't want to go knock on doors and I do have time. Well, then maybe the answer for you is to skip trace and call those people. Okay. But ultimately, before we dive deeper in this whole real estate investing business and getting you started for the next 30 days and having a step-by-step process of getting into real estate, maybe you've done a deal and you're struggling for consistency. Maybe you haven't done a deal yet, but you feel like you know everything you need to be successful, but it hasn't happened for you yet. Wherever you're at right now, you first start with this, being super duper honest with yourself. Don't freaking spend all your money on 1 month of marketing. Understand that marketing is a thing that has to be happening all the time. And to get any return on your marketing, typically it's going to take about 3 months. So before you decide where are you really at? It's I do have a little money, but how much money do I need to outsource my prospecting? I would say for your average lead that comes from cold calling, it's going to be 60 to 90 days. Okay. What we do is we do what's called profit first, and we allocate our operating expenses to be about 50 to 55% of our business. So if we make 20 grand, then our operating expenses is around 10 grand. Okay. If we make 5 grand, our operating expenses is $2,500. Okay. So where are you at right now? You're like, man, I haven't done a deal, so I don't really have operating expenses. I, haven't ran into that quite yet. That's cool. One VA that is highly trained, vetted, managed, and, we tracked at Start Virtual, one VA plus the systems and the tools and the data is going to cost you around $2,500 a month. Okay. So before you make the decision, like, okay, well, I don't know how much money do I need, should I have set aside before making this decision? I would say, what does that number look like for you? Do you have $2,500? Then I probably wouldn't do it. If you have $5,000, maybe. Okay. But if you have anywhere from $6,000 to $7,000 set aside, then it would be advantageous for you to go ahead and outsource immediately, so you can get the prospecting done for you, so you can leverage your time wisely to spend your time talking to motivated sellers rather than trying to find those motivated sellers. Does that make sense, guys? So $6,000 to $7,000, I would say, would be enough to where you can say, okay, I can do this. I can pay for this for at least 2.5 to 3 months. That should give me enough time to get my leads going, to get this thing figured out, new opportunities coming in, and then it's up to me. Then it's showtime, right? And that's what it comes down to, guys. When you start generating leads, I see one of the biggest reasons why people either succeed or fail in this business. It's either you got the skills or you don't. The skills get the deals, as Chris Rude says, right? So the only way, if you're like, dude, I don't even know, I haven't even talked to a seller yet. Great thing is there's amazing resources. You can work with our team. You can listen to how we do our acquisition calls, and you can learn that way. You can learn on the job, create opportunities, bring them to a JV partner and learn how they close those deals. But the idea is for you to get better at that, so you can either train someone or you can take on that role for your business, because there's amazing power in being able to generate income for your business. Knowing that, hey, just put me in front of someone. I'm confident enough now, that a team sets me in on an appointment, I know I'm going to get a deal. Like, cocky is not, whatever, confidence, whatever. I just know that that's my power. Like, I can go talk to someone and I know that I can generate income for my business. So I think that's advantageous for everyone, because if you're always hoping for someone to help you, if you're always hoping for where's that next lead, where's that next deal coming from, then you are vulnerable. You're vulnerable as hell. So that's why I said about the exit strategies being day one, get familiar with those things. But then day two is understanding where you're at. Because if you got money, you can start getting the reps in and understand you're probably going to get a deal in the 2 or 3 month period. Okay. And you have money set aside. But if you have less than $5,000, I would say go ahead and do the things that don't cost you near as much. Okay. Maybe that's doing your own driving for dollars. Maybe that's squatting up with someone, providing value with them. Maybe that's driving for dollars and door knocking, driving for dollars and cold calling. Maybe that's pulling a pre-foreclosure list and other distressed data and calling them on your own. So today, day number 2, where are you at? Okay. Before we go into day 3 and start talking about nitty gritty and we go into marketing and pulling lists and all this stuff, that stuff costs money. Okay. And I know that's not the answer for everyone watching these episodes. So I want you to be honest with yourself, and we're going to go in more detail on each. How to get your business off the ground if you have more time, which was me. Guys, August 2019, I didn't have any money to spend. All I had was my time. Okay. But how do you build that from that to a multi-million-dollar business? Done many a times, not by just me, plenty of people. And then other folks who have some money to spend. How to spend that money wisely. Because I don't know about you guys, who wants to spend their money wisely and actually net a deal? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to spend money and not get a return on it. Like, that's the worst feeling in the world. Spend 10 grand and be like, well, what happened here? I felt that with radio ads. I felt that with other marketing channels in the past, where we just spent a bunch of money and nothing came from it. And I learned a lot of good lessons. So I can't wait to share those lessons with you guys over the next, 30 days, 28 days of this series. So today, guys, I want you to figure out where you're at with your money. Okay. Do you have enough money to outsource? Do you have enough money to start getting help with your prospecting? Right. We'll dive deeper into VAs and all this stuff later, but get honest with yourself today and figure out what's your best plan, because what we're going to be talking about over the next 28 days, you'll find some information more relevant for you where you're at right now. And then likewise for guys who have spent money, as we dig deeper into the plan, you're going to say, okay, this is super relevant for me right now. But I want to help you wherever you're at. And that's why your perspective matters. That's why your comments matter on these videos. Please be sure to comment on them. I promise I'll get back to you. And if there's something that you want me to dive deeper in, again, guys, please put it in the comment section. I promise I will do that for you. Okay. Whole purpose here is hopefully to provide some value to you guys. And yeah, I mean, wherever you're at in your journey, I feel like what I've been able to do over the last year and a half, I could not have done without awesome partners, awesome people in my life, awesome people putting their hand out and helping me up. And I just want to do the same for you guys. That's it. Not selling you on anything. No gimmicks. No, hey, click on this link, go to my channel and buy this thing. There's nothing like that. Ultimately, how can I help you? And that's an amazing feeling. And I hope you guys feel that feeling one day too. When you know something that can change someone's life because it's so real to you, like I've seen it from my life, and that just gives me more power and conviction to tell you guys about it. And I'm excited to do that over the next 20 days. So please comment on these videos. I want to know more about where you're at and how I can help. Of course, over the next 20 days, we're going to dig in. We're going to have a ton of fun. So guys, be honest with yourself today. Figure out what you can spend on your business. Understand that you don't have to start by spending all your money. Okay. You can build this business with literally nothing. And we're going to go over that plan too. So guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with me. It's been a ton of fun. We're already in 17 minutes. Hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, as always, please head over to my YouTube channel, Matthew Beard. You'll see that little cartoon guy. And if you haven't yet, just hit that subscribe button because we go live there every single morning. I think this is episode 85, 86, something like that. We've gone live for 85 or 86 days in a row. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. My goal is to, for perpetuity, go live every single morning, and I have no plan of stopping. So hopefully you guys are getting some value. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me this morning. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.